Alright, we are back with a new idea, and we are going to see how it goes. I have no idea how this is going to go. I have no clue how this is going to go. So, brace, bear with me, but I want to see if I can get this done. Just think that would be a cool little stream idea here. Just want to get some tags going real quick. Alright, and done. Cool. Alright, let me get chat up on my phone. Hello? Are we live? We are live, okay. What's going on with my YouTube app? Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. There we go. Alright, YouTube app was being funky. What's up, Beanie? How you doing? Apologies for the double ping for people who got pinged for the other stream. We've changed what we're doing. I've decided I'm gonna stream till I beat oMega Obby. Because I think that would be cool. I don't know. So we're gonna do that. Is there a way for me to reset? Because I am a little bit in here. Can I reset? I mean, I can reset character. I don't know if that's going to do anything. No. Oh, I can go back! Oh, that's so nice. Yay, thank you, game. Maybe clicking for a bit, but... Is this not where I... Huh? I'm confused. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Alright, we're good. We're back at the beginning. So yeah, we're gonna try and beat this whole thing in one stream. And I don't know exactly how that's gonna go, but we're gonna try. Can you guys join? Sure. I would guess this doesn't have private servers if I had to take a stab at it. If it does, let me know and I can make one and we can just hang out in there. If not, but yeah, y'all can feel free to join. Absolutely. I'm just gonna be doing this pretty much. Alright, if I remember this, it's elephant, pig, and then monkey. Okay, yes. I hope I don't die, because then I have to, like, go back to whatever level I was at when I... See? That's what I meant. Actually, let me go forward instead of back. Alright, I was here. Okay. I was here. Alright. Let me wait for this to generate first. And then, yeah, there we go. Awesome. Cool. Just figured this was sort of a different twist on Roblox I could do that might do a little better in the algorithm, but we'll see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I guess we'll find out. Shouldn't take me too long to get back to where I was. It was right and then left. I remember this. I mean, I only got to stage 34, right? So, luckily most of these are pretty quick. Here, yeah. All right, cool. I should be in first person for this, probably. But yeah, y'all can feel free to join. In fact, let me add that to tags real quick. There we go. Alright, this should be all good now. Yeah. Do that. Awesome. Yo, what's good? Alright, don't know how far we are from where I left off, but I hope it's not, we are back. Welcome back, Snowy. We are in for the long haul today. We are hoping to beat all 725 levels of oMega Obby before the end of stream. That is the goal. We'll see if we can pull it off. I mean, if they're all only a couple of seconds long, I think we should be able to pull it off. I think it's just gonna be, will I get bored? Will I get bored before I beat all 725 levels? Possibility. Definitely a possibility. Typically in my Roblox streams, if you've been on the channel for a while, we'll switch games after like 30 minutes to avoid boredom. This is not going to take 30 minutes. This is going to take probably several hours. So yeah, I need to not get bored. But yeah, I figured this would be something slightly different we could do for a stream instead of just straight up Roblox. Because I don't know, like, when there's not a lot of people, like, it's hard to pick another game to play because, like, you don't have suggestions and, like, you have to pick something that doesn't depend on there being a lot of people. So I felt like this was something that, that's why I was originally doing an obby in the first place, because I was like, okay, you know, this is something that does not depend on a lot of people. In fact, it can just be me, and it still works. So, alright, we finally made it back to where I was. I just figured, you know, I didn't want to start from there. I wanted to actually complete everything up until there in one stream. The previous stream is still up. If anybody wanted to check that, you don't have to, and it's probably not worth it now that I've rebeat all those levels. Unless you want to see me get absolutely cooked in Universe Football for like 10 minutes. But yeah. I haven't done a streaming until I beat something video in like years, because I used to do streaming until I beat Minecraft like somewhat consistently, and I got like the closest I ever got on like my first attempt, and I just never beat it. Maybe one day we will return to streaming until I beat Minecraft. I sure hope that checkpoint triggered. Okay, it did. Oh, are these platforms? I got confused. Okay, there we go. We're fine. Are these free? Can I wear one of these for free? Never mind. I am not paying 95 Robux for that. I am not paying 95 Robux for that. If it was free, I would wear bunny ears, because that was a thing for a while on the channel. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know about the bunny ears. In fact, I think I still have them. I think they're right here. Or they're somewhere over here. They should be. They're kicking around somewhere. Maybe in this drawer? No, maybe not. They're kicking around somewhere. Somebody... New gens don't know about the bunny ears? True. Somebody sent me fan mail a couple of years ago. They sent me like a bunny ear headband, and I just wore it for a couple of streams. And every now and then I'll bring out the bunny ears. But yeah. New viewers probably will not know the bunny ears. Alright. So we are... I mean, it makes sense the first bunch of stages probably aren't going to be too hard. In fact, I would guess most of the stages probably aren't going to be too hard. But, even so, it's just... I don't expect them to be particularly hard. It's just the sheer number of levels we have to get through, you know? Like, level 50, wow, it seems like we made so much progress, but, you know, that's what, 1/14 of what we have to get through, and who knows how difficult the later levels are going to get. Some people probably know. I do not. I have not played this Obby before, so... Yeah, this will probably take a couple of hours. And that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. I was going to stream tonight anyway. Figure this would be a good thing to do, you know? Change it up a little bit. Also, to the few people that are chilling here in chat, in the event that you aren't also using your streaming device to currently be in the game with me, in which case that's fine. You can also respond in game chat. Actually, no, let me leave game chat on in case anybody does respond. Do y'all want to see, like, videos? Like, videos? Like, not shorts? Like, y'all want to see me play some in a video and then, like, edit it and upload it? Because, like, I've been avoiding that. Like, the reason I've been avoiding that is the same reason that I do shorts so much. And... it's just because, like, when I used to do videos, like, I would sink an hour into recording, and then, like, 5 hours into editing, and then it would get, like, 40 views, and I'd be all depressed. So, that's kind of the reason I stopped doing that, is it just didn't make sense, like, effort-wise. I was putting in a lot of effort, and the views just weren't coming. But, you know, my shorts game is probably as strong as it's ever been with the daily rip and the writing, and occasionally I'll put out something about my dogs or something like that. But yeah, if y'all want to see, like, full length, and also maybe like an approximate length of video that you might want to see, like, would you want to see short 10 to 15 minute videos or longer, like 30 to 45 minute videos? Because I would, like, adjust my recording time to fit that, to make sure I'm not going for too long or, like, trying to cram too much into one sitting. You still play Bee Swarm? No. I only really play Roblox on stream or when a friend of mine is streaming. Do these hurt me? No, they don't. Okay. That does. Yeah, would y'all prefer, like, shorter 10 to 15 minute videos or, like, longer episodes? Because I, like, going back to, like, Road to the End in 2020, those were, like, longer 45 minute episodes. But I don't know, like, I know, like, the attention span of the average YouTube viewer is not what it used to be. So if, like, a shorter video would be better. That's also, like, less footage that I would have to edit. So, you know, could be a W for both parties, you know? But yeah, I would put that down to what y'all would prefer. Because I'm able to do both. Although I would myself probably prefer shorter videos. Although I would probably feel more natural recording a longer video. But it would definitely make less editing for me if I was recording, like, shorter videos. Okay, so maybe the blue ones are good and the red ones are not. Yeah, looks like that's the case. That did not go well. Okay. Alright. These things are moving quite slow. But yeah, that is something I can do. I can record videos again. I just, again, the reason I stopped is, like, the effort versus, like, payoff ratio was, like, not there. Like, they just were not getting picked up at all, and nobody was seeing them. I'm assuming I'm trying to avoid these. Oh, okay. Stage 87? we're kind of cooking. Are we cooking, chat? I mean, none of these have been particularly difficult, but... Do I have my music off? I do. Good. Remember that stream where you went to get food for like 30 minutes and came back and played epic minigames? There could be many streams where I did that. Do you remember like what my background was? Was it like here? Was it different? Because like that could have been a lot of different things. Going to get food makes me think it was probably a college. Okay, so now I'm trying to avoid. Okay. With the hacker in epic minigames. A hacker in epic minigames. Do I remember that? I'm sure it probably happened. I don't know. That definitely would have been a stream that I did from home rather than from college. Oh, we're trying to get on top of these. Cool. Alright, stage 100. How long did that take us? 17 minutes? You posted like a snow day thing before it. Well, I remember the snow day short because I have my gross, disgusting freshman beard. I guess that could have happened. I don't stream much away at college. One time, and two, I don't want to bother the people that live near me, but like that's unfortunate timing. Alright, I still, even like this past semester, I didn't stream as consistently as I could have. Like, I had the living space to do it. Like, I had my own room. But I just didn't. I didn't have the time. I was really busy. Another thing, I thought about doing a stream series for Super Paper Mario, by the way. I recently played through the 1,000-Year Door, the remake. And that was my first time playing the 1,000-Year Door, and I absolutely adored it. And I'm thinking about giving Super Paper Mario a second chance. When I originally played it, like, way back, I never played on the channel. Like, when I was younger, I could not stand the dialogue, and I got rid of it. But it seems like something that would be fun to do, like, a stream series on. Like, my first reaction, my first impression of the game, I think that would be pretty cool. Probably do it on emulator, because I mean I have a Wii, but I don't have a great way to record it, so I'd probably be doing it on an emulator. Do you need coffee for all 700? If we can keep up the pace we're currently at, no, I shouldn't need it. Because we've kind of been cooking so far. But depending on, if things get harder, then I don't know, we'll see. We will see. Hopefully not, though. I'm not really a coffee drinker. I've had like one full cup of coffee in my life, and it was out of necessity to keep me awake so that I wouldn't die driving home after a night where I did not sleep, because I was trying to get an application done. Don't know if I've probably told that story before. It is a somewhat recent one, like within the last year. But that's the only full cup of coffee I've ever forced myself to drink, and it was quite terrible. I did not put enough cream and sugar in it, and it was what I would imagine dishwater tastes like. It was not good. But hey, it kept me awake, so it did its job. Barely. I was spacing out at times on the road, which is not good. Don't, this is your reminder to not stay up all night and do stuff when you need to drive the next day. That's a really bad idea, and you shouldn't do that. Well, the thing was, like, originally, I was gonna leave, like, the previous day. But, like, something came up. Things took longer than expected. And I wanted to... It was, like, going into my... Of course, I was on campus for summer at this point, which was probably some of the most pain and suffering filled months of my life. But that's besides the point. I was on campus over the summer, and we got like a midsummer break, and I was supposed to come home for the midsummer break on the Friday, but the Friday... Actually, no, the Friday wasn't when the assignment was due, because there was, like, issues, and, like, the due date got delayed. I'm trying to remember if this is when the due date got delayed, or this is when, like... No! This is when the Git repositories completely broke. That's what this was. I remember. So, like, our homework submission server, like, the Git stuff got completely fried with the Git update that got pushed. And, like, a lot of classes, a lot of computer science classes, you submit a link to a GitHub, or you basically, your submission is, well, not a GitHub repository, a Git repository, with, like, a specific file structure and everything. And, so basically, the due date for the assignment had come, right? But nobody could submit because the Git stuff was broken. I don't remember what exactly about it was broken, but nobody could submit. You know, no repositories were being saved. It was like you physically could not submit your work to the assignment. And so we were like, you know, the professor was like, all right, did I jump on that? I can't. Like, spring break is coming up. This isn't working. You know, you have until... It was like, you know, we're pushing the due date back, and we'll tell you when we have an update on, you know, fixing the Git stuff. So, like, I had time to do this, and, like, I was kind of thinking, like, oh, maybe I should just drive home and then finish it at home. But, I was like, no, I don't want to do this over my spring break, or my summer break. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to completely get this done before I go home, so that I don't have to think about this at all over break. And that was great until, you know, I ended up having to stay up all night. And it wasn't even the programming stuff. The programming stuff I got ironed out, at least most of it. I think I made a couple of changes, like adding comments and tightening things up a little bit. But the programming stuff, I had almost completely done, like, mid-afternoon. I went to office hours with some of the TAs, and I finished most of that stuff up. So the only stuff I really had left to do was the documentation stuff, the user's manual, the README, there was like other documents too, and I can't remember. There was a testing manual too of running a bunch of unit tests on specific features of the application, making sure they worked, and like taking screenshots, confirming that they worked, and like in the user because the thing is like, and don't get me wrong, this class is probably one of the more useful classes that I've taken. It was incredibly time consuming, it was incredibly painful, but it was probably one of the more useful classes that I've taken, because it was not just, okay, here's how to program an application, because, well, they didn't really teach that either. It was, hey, read this. It was all in Java, by the way. The class was application design using Java. So they didn't actually teach Java. The professor was basically just like, here's the section of the textbook, read it, and then we'll talk about like what you do with that stuff in class. So like he didn't really teach a whole lot. But yeah, basically every assignment you had to submit obviously your code, but also a README, which was basically explaining like if there were any bugs you knew were in your code, like you put them in there, like how to actually run your code, like where to run it from, all that stuff. The specific you also had to include scripts to run it on I forget if it was Windows and one of either Linux or Mac OS, or if it was Linux and one of either Windows or Mac OS. But either way, you had to include two scripts. One to run it on the ones I did Windows because I was on a Windows machine, and Linux because I had Windows subsystem for Linux already on my machine for a previous course, so I figured it would just be easiest to use Linux because I didn't have I didn't have any Mac OS, like I didn't have a virtual machine or anything like that for Mac OS, so I already had WSL on my machine, so I figured I would just go with WSL and do Linux. Or aren't like two of them similar? Like Linux and Mac OS are similar or something? I don't know. I forget. But like one of them was like you had to, and then the other one was like you can pick one of these two. And so you had to submit those two scripts, which actually the scripts weren't too bad because the only things you really had to change were like there was some like semantic differences between how Windows handles like I think backslashes and stuff like that, and like file paths a little bit. Like there were some semantic differences, but that was about it. So you had to submit the README with like the details of like how to run it, the versions of the Windows and Linux systems that you ran it on. Basically just a bunch of like version information and like again if there were any bugs or stuff that you knew about, throw them in the README. And then the two big documents that you needed to submit, you were also supposed to submit a bunch of JUnit unit tests, and we were supposed to know how to set those up. But I got credit for the class where they taught you how to do that. I think they like put it up again, and I forget if I just didn't pay attention or I was like, no, this is too complicated. I don't know how to do this. Right? Yes, Linux and Mac OS are both Unix. That I believe that was, yeah. So it was either Mac OS or Linux for the second script, but the Windows was required. I mean, pretty much all of us were running Windows machines anyway, because anyone who was using a computer that they got from the Institute was probably running a Windows machine. But anyway, my point is, there were the two like big documents that we were also required to submit along with the code and the README and the scripts. There was a user manual and a testing manual. And the user manual is basically, if you've ever, stage 200 by the way, let's go. If you've ever read a user manual for literally anything, that's basically what it was. It was how to get the files, run the code, and use the application. That was the user manual. It was like start to finish, table of contents, on how to use the program. And I would always go like so over the top in detail to make sure everything was, was how, good and how it needed to be. I'm pretty sure I always or almost always got full credit for my user manuals. Mine were pretty freaking detailed. They were good. I have to give myself credit for that. Even when my code was a little bit of a mess, which it often was because I've never been the most elegant programmer, my manuals were typically pretty darn good. But yeah, the user manual. Basically, you put together a table of they give us like, because a lot of us had never done it before at the beginning of the semester. But there was a table of contents you're supposed to put at the beginning, and basically that table of contents would basically just be like, all right, here's all the different sections of like, and you'd start with like, here's what the program is, here's what it's supposed to do, here's what system you need to have to run it, and then you'd get into like, what are the actual capabilities of the program, and then you'd get into I'm trying to remember. I could probably go. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to go grab. They're probably still on my school laptop somewhere. I don't really want to go look for them right now, but then you'd actually go into like, okay, here's how to like, here's setup, like all the setup you need to do before you actually run the program. It would be like, all right, download the files, go to this directory, run the script. Pretty much it would follow that format of download the files, navigate to this directory, and then you'd have to like do it differently. You'd have to do two based on like, okay, for Windows users do this, for Linux users do this. But yeah, you'd be like, okay, navigate to this directory, run the script, and then you'd get into like actually running the application, and it would be like, so you're gonna start on this screen, and like for example, I'll just go with a couple that I can remember doing off the top of my head. The first one we did was Conway's Game of Life. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Conway's Game of Life, but it's a pretty simple concept. It's basically, there's a grid of like limited spaces, and each cell on the grid is either considered alive or dead. And I forget the exact rules, but basically there's certain criteria that determine whether or not a cell is alive or dead. And basically what the program would do is basically you would be allowed to set parameters for like, all right, how many starting alive squares do you want? Where do you want to put them? How many like ticks or like turns do you want to run the simulation for? Like parameters like that. Do you want like you can set a whole bunch of different parameters for it, and then basically it would run for that many ticks, and like based off the the specific set of conditions, you would see like turn by turn how the how the simulation would run. Like you would see like tick 1's grid, tick 2's grid, and you would kind of see how cells live and die based on what's going on around them. And that was like the first assignment we had in the course. The second assignment was to make it a graphical user interface and like physically show a grid, updating with each. I don't have. I guess I'll just call it ticks. Each tick of the simulation. That one was significantly more difficult because we had to work with like JavaFX Gosh, I hate JavaFX. I hate it so much. Like, it's just ugh. It's everything you gotta. Oh, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it is very annoying. But yeah, basically, the next part of the user manual would be like, okay, you know, or I guess maybe a better example would be Battleship. I did a Battleship. One of the assignments was Battleship. And so it would be like, okay, how to start a game. You know, go here. And the Battleship one was a doozy because we were using, like, we were trying to connect via ports to other people to play Battleship with. That was a whole different can of worms. That was incredibly annoying. That was incredibly unfun to do. But yeah, it would be like, all right, how to start a game. Here's what each of the buttons does on this screen that you're currently looking at. Like, I would typically break it down by screen. That's how I did. I'd be like, okay, the start screen. Here's the features of the start screen. Here's what each of the buttons on the start screen does. Here's what every feature does. And then I would kind of go to the next screen. All right, here's your settings screen. Here's how you can configure your game settings. Here you can go to host a game, and it'll be on the port that you put into your game settings, and like basically you would describe all that stuff. What is that? What? I can't tell which color is pink good? Yes, pink is good, purple is not. Okay. But yeah, I basically go screen by screen and discuss, you know, what each of the different GUI components did, and how to use them. And then I discuss, like, you'd also have to have like a rules segment as well, of like, you know, okay, here's the game rules, here's how to win. You know, you have to be incredibly descriptive about absolutely everything. I'm gonna DM you some code and let me know how much you like it's fit. Oh, I haven't looked at code and frickin' this better. I don't know. I'll take a look at it. I will take a look at it, but don't expect particularly insightful advice from me. But please just be like infinite recursion. That would make me laugh. Just infinite recursion that never terminates. Anyway. And then there'd be like another section of the manual for like, or like there'd be a section for the GUI, and then there'd be a section for actually playing the game, and then there'd be a section. Oh, I'm going here. Okay. After that, for like documenting errors and exceptions that your code could run into. Those were probably the easiest, because you could basically take all the code for one, copy it, make another text box object, call it something else, and then just edit the text that popped up. And then that was, bang, you have another error text box that pops up. But yeah, working with JavaFX and then also doing like, doing port connection, that was not fun. I didn't like that a lot. And then there was one that I was supposed to do on like SQL stuff, and I've actually worked with SQL before. I worked with SQL in high school. But I just completely ran out of time. Completely and totally ran out of time on that one. And, Let's look at the efficiency of this code here. If n is 0, return true. If n is 1, return false. Return is even n minus 2. Nice. Nice. Okay, that made me chuckle. that got a good guffaw out of me. W code Dusky. Reminds me of there was one video I saw online a while back. It was like an Instagram reel, I think, and it was like, guys, I can't believe this. I just wrote like a 700 line program with 0 compilation errors. And it was just like 700 lines of system.out.println hello. And it was just like, whoa, you did it! Congratulations! Yeah. It's quite funny. Anyway. We're nearing level 300, chat. But yeah, the user and testing, and then the testing manual was basically, that one was a little bit simpler. It was basically, divide your tests into different categories. And then run different tests, state whether they pass or fail. O of n minus n over 2. And that is also really inefficient. Well, hey, it's n minus. That's something. That is for the inevitable algorithms course that you may already be taking. Great job, me. That one was actually an accident. Yeah, that class sucked. Well, it sucked because, like, the professor was a little bit all over the place. Some stuff was totally out of his control, and I will totally not fault him for that. But it was kind of a mess. Due dates were constantly getting pushed back. The expectations for, like, homeworks were just significantly above what I think me or anybody else expected them to be. And the TAs were awesome. The TAs were really, really nice. And I totally rock with them. And a lot of them were also in the operating systems class I took the following semester. So the TAs were sick. They were really great. Not like they're ever going to be watching, but, you know, credit where credit is due, I guess. But yeah, that class was very difficult, and it is the only class I've ever pulled an all-nighter trying to finish work for, and I pulled 2 during that semester. So, you know, take what you will from that. I did not before or since pull an all-nighter, at least not a complete one, on an assignment until that class, and then I pulled 2, and then I still haven't done it since. Don't get me wrong, I've been up late, 2, 3 in the morning, getting stuff done. Have never pulled another complete all-nighter for a class since that one. And the reason I pulled those all-nighters is because class was at 8 a.m. So, you know, the deadline for homework being due was like before the Friday class at 8 in the morning, so that's kind of why I pulled the all-nighter. I was like, am I really going to wake up early and have the energy and strength to do this? No? Alright, we're staying up all night, we're getting this done. And hey, it worked out. I got an A. Kind of got carried on the last group project because I completely forgot how to do HTML until like a week before the assignment was due. But I contributed. Very little, but I contributed. And I finished that class with an A. Gosh, that summer semester was so brutal. No one should ever be subjected to a summer semester of any kind. It is, especially college where you're away from your family, like, it's not even like you go home and, you know, every day and sleep in your own home. Like, you're just completely isolated from everybody you love for, well, not everybody, you know, if you have friends at school, but that was absolutely miserable. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But yeah, I still think it was a useful class and one that hopefully will prove to be good for me down the road. But that semester as a whole was particularly ouch. Of course, my last semester wasn't great either. It was, oh yeah, did I announce we're at level 300? We're at level 300. It was difficult. I was taking a machine learning from data class that was some very complex, very high level math going on there, and I did not take all of the prerequisite courses that I needed for the math before I did that, and I also basically relearned how to do Python and got a lot of help from my new best friend. But you know, TAs were also very, very nice in that class. I have to give them their credit. They were not super strict or annoying with grading. So that was another class that I'm very happy I took because I just finished my certified AI practitioner certification with AWS that I was doing for the spring. I just finished that, and that machine learning from data class was invaluable with the fundamentals that I needed for understanding what was going on. So I'm very, very happy I took that class. And the professor is awesome. He's hilarious. He's the guy who wrote our Foundations of Computer Science textbook that they tell us to buy. Which, by the way, I must say, probably the most useful textbook I've ever bought. I'm not trying to glaze. Legitimately, probably. Probably the single most useful textbook I've ever spent money on. It was a very good textbook. He also wrote the book we used for machine learning from data. And that one was... It was basically a restatement of everything he said in class. But... It was fine, I guess. It wasn't, like, that bad. It was... Just the subject matter was, I think, a lot more complex and difficult than the other one. Surprised you're still going? Stream ends when I beat it, so we're not even halfway done. we're getting there, but you know, I'm committed to this for the long haul. Stream ends when I win. That's why I titled it how I did. We're not even halfway done yet, so. How long we've been doing this for? About 50 minutes. Okay, so a little under an hour, and we're almost halfway done. Could we do this in 2 hours or less? That is the question of the moment, I think. But yeah, a lot of the time, the most difficult classes are the most useful classes, because they're difficult because you're really being tested and you're being challenged with really using the material that you're being taught. Now, some of them are downright stupid and way too hard for their own good. I will absolutely say that. There's one particular course that my university is kind of infamous for in the computer science department. That is just way too freaking hard. way harder than it needs to be. And it's a fresh, of course, the freshmen are supposed to be. So there's some that are just way harder than they need to be. But there's some that are difficult and like also useful. And I've had a couple of those in my last couple semesters. So. And then there's some that are completely and utterly useless in every way, like programming languages. Anyone here heard of Haskell? Or, what was the second one we used? The second one we used was Erlang, and then, what was Haskell, Erlang, and what was the other one? There's a third one. I'm looking this up. Hold on. Forgive me. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Haskell, Erlang, Oz. Okay, we actually didn't have to do Oz. Haskell, Erlang, and, Prolog. Do I know any Python? I don't know how long ago that was sent. I apologize for ignoring that, or not seeing it. I do. I'm not an expert in Python by any means, but I have used Python in, I think, 3 different semesters of coursework that I've done. So like, if you asked me to build you something in Python, I probably couldn't. But give me a relatively decent tutorial, or a generative AI learning tool, and I could probably figure out my way around Python. Like, I wouldn't know the syntax off the top of my head, but like, I've worked with it a lot less than I've worked with something like Java or even C++. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Haskell, Erlang, or Prolog, of course you haven't, because nobody freaking uses them. Because they're functional programming languages, and it's just like, one of them uses lambda calculus. Is anyone familiar with lambda calculus and how it works? If you answered no, correct. Good job. The class is so useless they're removing it from the required computer science curriculum after my year, or at least that's what I've heard. It is that useless. It's... Oh, come on. Do I have to jump to... Hold on a minute. How am I supposed to do this? Oh, the bits on the end are solid. Okay, I didn't see that. There we go. Cool. And then one of the language... We technically didn't have to use Erlang. We didn't have to. We could also use a language that was literally created by the professor. He wrote it. There's no documentation on it. He wrote it. He created the language. No documentation on it whatsoever. So good frickin' luck figuring that out. I chose not to use that one. Shocker. But yeah, that class was, I can't even say it was particularly rewarding or fun. It really wasn't. Like, it was, with any sort of programming that you're doing, seeing everything fit together and do what you want it to do is an incredibly satisfying feeling. In fact, the longer you've been banging your head against the wall, the better it feels when you finally get it to work. I'm not recommending that, by the way, if you're not, like, if you don't have to do it for a major or something. Like, I'm not recommending spend an incredibly long time banging your head against the wall so that you can feel the joys of it finally working. But what I am saying is, Yeah, that class totally sucked because it basically took everything you knew about programming up until that point and kind of threw it on its head. Because suddenly you're formatting basically everything as like a try-catch. Like the entirety of functional programming is basically running a massive try-catch on basically anything that comes through a given function prototype. Like you'll basically set up a bunch of, it's kind of a bunch of if statements where it's like you set up a function header for one case. And also, there's also something called lazy evaluation that exists in these languages, which means that the functions are processed in the order that they are put into the file. So if a function is above another function in the file, it gets processed earlier. So that is something you legitimately have to take into account when programming in these languages, is the fact that one of them will be tried first if it is up first. So that's something you have to take into account. But no, it's infuriating. It's unbelievably infuriating. It's like, forget everything you know about object-oriented programming and make 16 quadrillion if statements. Like, does anybody use that? No. Does anybody use those languages? No. Why would you? Completely and totally pointless. Just use object-oriented programming. You don't need lower-level stuff like that. I don't even know if it's necessarily lower level. It's just like, why program that way? Why subject yourself to that? Just program. If you're gonna program at all, do it in fricking Python. It's the most lenient. Like, if you're new to programming and you're trying to make a program, do it in Python. Please do yourself a favor and do it in Python. It is by far the most lenient and forgiving programming language. Syntactically, it is like, for like an experienced programmer might not like Python because of how lenient it is and because of how syntactically, light it is. Like, you might like the more structured stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, Java was my first love when it comes to programming. Like, the first programming I ever did was in Java. I've taken many courses in Java. I love looking at the syntax and format of Java. It is beautiful. I love it, right? But in terms of actual simplicity and like the simplest language to program in order to get a program to do something, far and away it is Python. There is much less extra, like, it's the most English-like language, almost. Actually, those functional languages are also fairly similar to English, but like, there's a lot less extra stuff on Python statements. Like, if you want to print something, print parenthesis, put whatever the heck you want to print in there. Like, it's like a extremely basic instruction on, like, okay, print this thing, bang, prints the thing to the terminal. Like, for a new programmer, I mean, I'm assuming that's why like our CS1, our fundamental computer science course, is in Python, because it's designed to be accessible for people who have not programmed before. And Python is the best language to do that in, because, like I said, it is the simplest syntactically. It is basically the tutorial of programming languages. And because it's so simple, and because it's so good with, like, data, and generating charts, and putting stuff into, like, arrays and data structures and stuff, it's very widely used. Like, I guess if you wanted something that was better with data and charts, maybe you could program in R. But R is stupid because it starts indexing at 1. But besides that, I can put my grudges aside with that. R isn't that bad. It's a little annoying to get used to, but R isn't that bad. I actually, of all things, a biology lab had me using, I guess technically that's not like too shocking because, you know, biology, data, charts and stuff, but over level 400, by the way. We are making solid progress. My throat is starting to hurt. Maybe because I've been yapping too much. I'll stop yapping. I've done way too much technical yapping, and I've driven many people away. I apologize. Somebody wants to talk about something else. Go right ahead. I'm done with my my programming yap. There's just stuff I feel very strongly about. You know. Have something to share in DMs, go for it. We are nearing 300 levels remaining. What? Is this glass bridge from Squid Game? Like, huh? I think it is. Oh, I'm just built different. Eat. I mean, wow. I thought my universities was pretty terrible. That's wow. That is nice job on your 72 there. That's exceptional. That's that's an A+++. Good job. What did the grade breakdowns end up being for that, or like the curve? Like how did that end up? I'm kind of curious. Come on, just kill me already. In game. Well, there won't be a curve? Well. Something will, well, yeah, something will have to be done, definitely, because that you can't show that to your higher ups and be like, great success. Scale is already curved since the C is a 56. Wow. 56. I think have I had anything like that? I've had an A be like a high 70s. I've seen that. It was good, Mullet Monkey. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I don't know if you remember me, I used to watch your streams a while back. I'm sure I probably remember you in some capacity. I am sure, especially if you went by like a different username, it was probably wedged into my skull somewhere. Alright, we are under 300 levels to go, chat, so we are well over halfway at this point. I mean, I guess you can see the percentage at the top of the screen, but even so, we are cooking. I totally meant to ask this before when there were like 5 people in here. I apologize. So some people said they would like to see more longer form, like actual video content. I don't think we got a consensus on like how long. But my other question was, what? What do you wanna see? What stuff do y'all want to see? Game wise, if you do want to see video stuff. I'm gonna continue to do shorts. I'm gonna continue to stream 1 to 2 times per week, maybe. But yeah, you too, Mullet Monkey. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Like that's gonna continue to happen. But I've been looking for like, I'll have moments of the day where I like run out of like I don't know what to do with myself. So I feel like video editing would be a great thing to pick up to fill a lot of that time. So, but of course I need to know what to do, what to play. Jumping makes this a lot easier. Okay. Stay on the dark green. Got it. Got it. Some of my editing is kind of peak. Not all of it, but like some of it back in the day was like, good job. I go deal with linked lists. Have fun. Have fun and best of luck with that. Hopefully linked lists aren't the worst, and I remember them well from data structures. Well, there you go. Oh, you can just walk right through it. Okay, cool. There are far worse structures to work with than linked lists. This is true. For example, B+ trees. If you don't know what a B+ tree is, don't find out. Anyone who was in my data structures class just got PTSD from the sheer mention of a B+ tree. If you are not familiar, please remain unfamiliar for your own good. programming B+ trees was a nightmare. I have to learn A* search, and for some reason I learn it entirely in C? Why? Ew, no! Why C? Why C? Why? No! You use C for, like, operating system stuff and, like concurrency and no! Ew! Gross. No. I actually don't hate C all that much, to be completely honest with you. I haven't done too much work in C. I had my operating systems class in C. I don't completely loathe it. It's not my favorite, but it's, like, not that bad. Or maybe just the assignments were more reasonable in that course. I don't know. It's the same class those stats were from? Ah, I see. Okay. Slightly more sense is being made. Almost to level 500, chat. Which means we are almost 2/3 of the way done. Remember, there are 725 levels in total. They just give you an award every 25 levels? That kind of seems like what they're doing. I am now the only person on this game currently, I'm realizing. Also encouraged to exclusively use Vim. I've never even heard of Vim. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Never heard of it. Never have I heard of Vim in my life. Nope, I have not heard of Vim. I am unfamiliar. The entirely keyboard-based command line text editor nobody can ever figure out how to exit. Keyboard-based command line text editor? You lost me at command line text editor. Just use a normal text editor, please. Even if you have to run it from the command line, fine. Just use a normal freaking text editor. Did you say nobody can figure out how to exit? Like close? Like... I hope I never have to do any work from the command line ever again for as long as I live. Unlikely. But gosh, I hate working through the command line. I hate it. I hate it so much. What? Huh? Oh. Let's see. What? Am I just supposed to... Okay, you can go away now. Oh, I see. Okay, you can move. Any second now. You can skedaddle. Thank you. Right. Am I trying to... I assume I'm trying to avoid the green. Okay, well that's annoying. Why are we, like, amping up the heat at level 488? What? Alright. Dusky, what are your thoughts on Edit Plus? This might get good. This is gonna get juicy. And the correct answer is I have no thoughts on Edit Plus because I was never able to use it. That is the correct answer to that question. Or at least that would be my answer. And I'm pretty sure that's yours. If I had to guess. How long is this one level? Well, why does this... I really wish this didn't pop up every, like, couple of deaths. Like, okay, game, I get it. I'm not doing well right now. You don't have to rub it in. Just the best way to handle this. There we go. I've never attempted to use it. I remember the name, but I have no clue why I know it. Computer Architecture Assembly Language. That is where you will know it from. And how you were never able to get it working on a certain set of computers from a certain educational what word am I looking for? A certain educational establishment. Computer Architecture Assembly Language. That class was a fever dream, dude. Actual fever dream. I wrote some terminal commands to assemble and link assembly language with the Code Runner extension in VS Code and used that. Oh, you actually wrote code? You actually wrote code in assembly language? That's funny. That's hysterical. Alright, sorry. I have 500. Woo! Let's go! That's funny. You wrote code in that class. That's hysterical. Okay. I know earlier it was elephant, pig, monkey. Okay, it's the same. They're just checking if you remembered. Cool. No, we were taught that class directly out of the textbook. All of our because we could never get Edit Plus to work on the computers in the classroom. So we were taught that class exclusively out of the textbook. So all of our exams were basically on like how to count in binary and hex and I kid you not, that was the content of our a lot of the content of our first exam was how to count in binary and hex. As well as, like, I think eventually we got into registers, but it took a while. We didn't learn, like, actual programming until after we switched professors in like the last 2 weeks, right before we took our final over winter break, because we couldn't just not take it. That would be, how could we possibly ever do that? We had to take it over winter break instead. I actually did very well on that final. I assume he was being very generous with the grading because, you know, the situation wasn't ideal. This was like 2020, this was 2021, like COVID was still very much a thing, and then obviously we had, our original professor had some health issues, so I assume he was just being very, generous with the grading because of those circumstances, which, you know what, fair credit to him, because I hate this type of level particularly, because like you don't know why you die the first time. Like, it's one of those where, like, I guess technically you could beat it on the first try, but you could die and then you don't know why until you gotta turn around and look at whatever. That's rather unfortunate. Okay. Are you serious? Don't do this to me, game. I've been at this for too long now. Don't start shenanigans. Alright. It's so funny how, like, when we walked into the class with the new guy, and he's like, yeah, there's no four-year university that's going to teach this course. And this is probably not going to be super useful going forward for, you know, you computer science majors. And it's like, well, gee, gosh, I'm so glad I'm sitting here and spending 4 hours a week sitting here in this classroom to learn something I'm never going to fricking use again. Thanks so much for telling me, man. Really appreciate that. Gosh, that class really was a fever dream, man. For so many different reasons. Because that was like right after COVID. It was my senior year of high school. What was also college. And it was, that class. I could put out a 3-hour documentary on that class, man. Like, that. Didn't even learn much. Like, the only thing I could say I learned from that class is like what registers were and like how to actually use and count in like binary and hex. Like, that's all I could actually say I learned from that class out of what, 3-4 months of education. And then our original professor, when he gave us our exam grades back, he would then let us go back and, like, fix the questions we missed, and he'd give us, like, half credit. He'd give us half credit back, like, we'd be able to review them. Like, he was almost too nice. Like, here's the thing about him, and I feel like I've said this before, and I'm sure at some point we probably discussed this on Mario and Mates for the very little existence that podcast had. Incredibly nice gentleman, this professor. Like, genuinely a really, really sweet guy. Really, really nice guy. Like, genuinely, I wish absolutely no ill will towards this man. He was a genuinely kind and sweet and respectful human being who wanted you to learn. The problem was, he just wasn't a fantastic teacher of material. He really wasn't. Like, okay, in that assembly language semester, extenuating circumstances, he had health issues. Nobody could help that, right? But I had him for 2 other courses. He wasn't like a phenomenal professor. Like, I guess he got the job done, but he... And it really wasn't his job to teach those other courses. He kind of got pulled over from a different institution to do that, and it was it was totally like not the best situation for anybody involved, and I totally understand that. And again, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. And I hope he's doing well. But every class with him was definitely an adventure. Definitely an adventure. I almost switched to a different section when I saw he was teaching it, to be honest with you. And he did call me by the wrong name when he saw me. He was like, "Oh, he met us like first day of class as we were walking in. He was like, "Oh, hey guys," because we already had him for a different class at our high school. And he was like, "Yeah, I was happy to see your names come up on the class list." And he was like, "Oh, hey," and then he called me by the wrong name, and I was like, I didn't say anything. And he to his credit, he was like, "Oh, that's not your name. I'm sorry." I was like, "It's all good. It's all good, prof. It's all good." Gosh, that class was wild. I had a couple like that. The next one, the next semester with the department chair, that one was pretty wild too. Although he was on leave, the semester the previous semester, he was on leave. Like, I reached out to him about the whole, like, final over winter break thing and all that stuff, and there was, like, a conflict with getting grades in time, and, like, there was a whole thing. And so I kind of reached out to him, and he got back to me, like, a month later. I was like, well... Like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Everything was solved. It's fine. But yeah. Yeah. Alright, chat. Level 555. Here we are. How long stream been live for? Almost 90 minutes. This actually hasn't taken, like, the longest. Like, probably gonna be over 2 hours. I'd expect it to be over 2 hours, but it hasn't been, like, the longest and most egregious and unfun time. Because these levels aren't particularly difficult, but, you know, there's over 700 of them, so. Anyway. Is the music still playing? Yes, it is. Good. I like this new music bot, Jockey. I like it a lot. It doesn't cut out. It doesn't move me to the AFK channel when I'm not, you know, active on Discord. Actually, it probably wasn't the music bot that did that. I don't know what did that. And, like, sometimes it doesn't and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not 100% sure, but this music bot's good. The audio quality seems to be pretty good. I can skip and shuffle and stuff, which you'd think that all music bots would let you do that. That is not the case. Some of them, that is a premium only feature. Like, shuffling is a premium only feature with some music bots, which kinda totally stinks. I could probably kick some of the old music bots out of the server. I don't know if that would accomplish anything, but, like, we're not using them, so, you know, might as well. But yeah, shout out Jockey Music. I just totally butchered that and walked off the cliff. Alright. Level 563 of 725. So we are, I guess we're getting there, right? We're under 200 levels away from finishing, which I guess is, yeah, it's still a lot of levels, but that, okay. This one seems to be causing me some trouble. So what are you meant to... Hold on. Hi. Go over here. What are you meant to do? Oh. Okay, so there's a down over here. Got it. Alright, cool. Da, 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 da.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through
Oh, Pac-Man level. That's neat. I like that. W level. Ooh! Space Invaders as well. Someone respects their retro gaming. I rock with it. What is going on here? I'm going up. I'm taking the high road on this one. Look at this whole temple area. Check this out, man. This is sick. I put a lot of effort into this. I respect it. I respect it. Alright. 570. Like slowly sinking lower and lower in my chair. Hold on. Not the posture. We gotta fix the posture. Alright.
So bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.
Am I taking those stairs up? I think I am. Okay. This one's neat. That level was neat. Alright. Don't touch the glowing blue, I would assume. That's very pink. Okay. There's not too many more layers to go. If we look up, there's like... There's a few, but... We're getting there. Nearing level 600. Is this something you guys would want to see more of? Like, different obbies or like other games? Roblox games, games in general, like streaming until I beat this, because that's definitely something I could do. Preferably not something particularly difficult. There was one where I streamed until I beat like it was like a troll obby, and like one of the final levels was like you fight an actual Terraria boss. That one took me a while. I did eventually beat it, but I don't remember what that one was called. But... And apparently it was part of a trilogy. Like there were two others. I never played those. But... What is happening? I'm climbing whatever this is. It's kind of hard to make out what it is. Okay, I think I did it. Getting close to level 600 here. It's starting to get a little bit tiring, I won't lie. Like, not super tiring, and of course it also is getting late, it's past 10 p.m. my time. But, imagine how long this took to make. $600, let's go! 125 more to go. And we are done. My saving grace in this is that most of the levels are pretty short. A couple of them take a little bit longer. Most of them are fairly short. That has helped me out immensely with being able to complete this in one stream. Apologies for my lack of commentary. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but we're almost done. Oof. Shut up, game. I've been playing this for almost 2 hours. Cut me some slack. There we go. We got it. Closing in on the last 100 levels here, chat. It has taken quite a while. Actually, let me give you an exact number. Hour and 40 minutes here. Okay, hi, chat. Game chat, at least. Closing in on the last 100. Probably going to take us over the 2-hour mark. But yeah, getting there. All right. $100 levels left, so we go 6 down across. Eventually we gotta go up, right? I'm trying to figure out where we go up. Eventually we gotta get up here, but I guess we'll get there when we get there, right? Final 100 levels. This is a maze. Hopefully it's not hard. I won't be here for 6 years. Oh, it is a maze. Okay. There we go. Wasn't too bad. Well, this one's kind of neat. Hey, you get thrown into a basketball hoop. Final 90. Oh, axolotl, that's cute. Look at the little guy. I'm assuming these dots are going to kill me. Oh, he shoots lasers. Okay. Never mind, slightly less cute. At this point, if we fall, we're not going to land on anything else, which is might make this slightly faster. Look at this thing. Gotta say, the artwork and the design on this is very good. What's up, K-Fur? How you doing? 727. Wait, there's more? Who's on level 727? That's concerning. If there's more, then it means there's more I have to do. How many actual levels are in this? That one was a relatively long one. So. Hopefully there's like, I don't know, a handful. Maybe 25 extra levels or something. It's got to end at some point, right? I thought there was 725. That's what the game said. 726 is just walking upstairs. 727 is the one in the end of typical obbies. Oh, so like the victory area. You get to like experiment with coils and like swing on swings or whatever. The one with the little blocks. I don't know what that means, but okay. Where am I going? I actually don't know the direction that I should be going in. That's kind of important. Am I going... Oh, I'm going past this. Okay, cool. Well. That is terrifying. I've created a memory leak. Congratulations! Good luck trying to figure out how to fix that. Make sure you're freeing wherever you're allocating memory. If you're using C, make sure to use free whenever you dynamically allocate memory. I mean, no duh, but like instincts kicked in. I just forgot to add. Okay, you forgot to add a free at the end. Cool. So you've created a memory leak, but. Dynamically allocating memory in loops? Ew. But then you gotta run another loop to deallocate. Gross. Or like no. I don't like that. I don't like that that's a thing that you're doing. And if you're required to do it, I don't like that you're required to do it. Because that leaves so much more room for mess ups, and I don't like it. I don't like it. You gotta get like identifiers so you can specify which one to free at each. Yeah, that's I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Closing in on 50. I'm just freeing the head of the linked list, and I'm not entirely sure if that's creating an actual memory leak, but I don't care. I am in fact required to do it because linked lists in C. I see. You're only freeing the head, okay. Me when non-garbage collection. Am I right, gamers? Me when lack of garbage collection. Anyway. I have in fact created a memory leak. Oh dear. Alright, closing in on 50 levels to go. $675. 50 levels left. Let's go. Almost missed that. Okay. Gosh, the fall takes forever. Welcome to the underground. Oh, sorry. I guess it's yellow and then green. Wow. Yeah, you slide. Wahoo.
Did you cry when I found you in the night? Staying up till 5 a.m. Told me you and him were fair.
Closing in on 700. Closing in on the final 25 levels. Wild that we've actually done this, but am I screwed? No, okay, I'm just built different, that's fine. Almost 700. Couple levels away. Music's still playing? Yeah, good. Just checking. Just making sure. $700. All right. Down to the last bit here, chat. We are sitting at, let's see, stream has been live for just under 2 hours. We are almost done. Down to the final 25 levels here. This has definitely been tiring. I will not lie. I've done worse, but this has definitely been tiring. Would not recommend this. It's just better things to do with your time. We haven't had to use any skips though. I mean, none of the levels have been all that difficult, but we haven't had to use any skips, so that's at least something we can hang our hat on. Trying to fix the memory leak keeps causing seg faults, and I'm not required to not leak memory given that I followed example code from class, so memory leak it is. You're so real for that. If it's not in the requirements, don't do it. Genuinely. Because the TAs, to an extent, at least from my experience, will kind of feel the same way. Like, was that required? No? Alright. And we don't care. Yeah, if it ain't in the requirements, then... Sorry, Professor, you gotta be more specific if you don't want a memory leak. Alright, 710. 15 levels left. So wait, Dusky, does the example code have a memory leak in it? Because if it does, that's actually really funny. Yes. Nice. Right, can we skedaddle here? Can we speed this up? Epilepsy warning, by the way, to who that may, whoever that may apply. Hello, game? Can I slide down the slide, please? I may have broken something. So we're gonna take this very, very slowly. Oh, Siri just activated on my phone. Don't know why Siri activated on my phone, because I definitely didn't say anything to activate Siri. But this is why we use higher level languages unless we need C features for a reason. Yes, I agree. Use something with garbage collection. Use something, anything with garbage collection. Unless the lesson is literally about allocating and freeing memory dynamically. Use something with garbage collection. Or unless the class is in C, which, I mean, duh, but like... That's what I don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to be well-rounded in, like, multiple languages. But, like... I guess with, like, C, it makes more sense. But with other lesser-known languages, like, why bother? Why do I care what Erlang and Prolog and... Use C# because it allows for dynamic memory allocation if you ask it nicely, but mostly just does the work for you. I've actually done very little C#. I've worked in C++, I've worked in C, I've done very, very little C#. In fact, I don't know if I've done any C#. I think the only C# I might have done, Blazor probably did for me. Shout out Microsoft Blazor. Anyway. That was so good, I got it banned for future generations. Anyway, shut up, game. I'm on level 719. I'm not skipping a level at this point. Five more levels, chat. 4 more levels, chat. Alright. I've received Discord messages. Who is... Oh. My really bad... Okay. Dusky has sent me his code. Alright. Struts. Ew. Okay, head, tail. Blazor wasn't banned. I used it but received hate from a JavaScript-loving professor. Okay, well. Oh, this doesn't seem like earth-shatteringly terrible. I mean, minus the memory leaks. This doesn't seem like... Ooh, Malik. Mmm. Malik size of El Clasico. We love that. Alright, according to the game, this is the last level. It's not the last level. Okay. But it was level 725. Alright, now we got some stairs. They don't disappear, so we can take our time. And hooray! Here we are! We've made it to the top! We can paint ourselves. I want to be blue. Oh, my whole body have to... What is happening? What is happening? The colors are like not working how they're supposed to be working, but whatever. Let's go! We did it! We reached the top. It only took us like 2 hours. Let's go! Trampoline room. Dub. I'm going to allocate all of my RAM just in case. Hey, you never know. You never know. You might need all of it. Yeah, just allocate everything that your system will allow. What is going on over here? Huh? I don't want... What? No. Okay, sorry. I'm sure the operating system professor won't mind working with... Yeah. Yeah, just... yeah, maybe. Are these like other obbies this person has done? I assume a blue obby, a green obby, a cotton candy one. I assume if I walk through those doors, that's what I'm gonna see. Or you can just jump in the giant hole. That's fun. Yay! Now we get to ride the Ferris wheel. Hurrah! Alright, well, that was definitely an experience. Can't say that was, like, too much fun, but it wasn't, like, horrific, so, you know what, we take it. Final time was just over 2 hours, a couple minutes over 2 hours. Which, given I took a couple, you know, I checked Discord a couple of times, it took me a minute or two to get going. That's not too bad. We probably finished somewhere around 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So yeah, we did it. I wasn't sure if the levels were going to get significantly harder. So I really wasn't sure for a bit if we were going to be able to pull this off, but we did. All 727 levels in one stream. So W, if you want to see me do this idea with something else, let me know if you have anything in particular. But yeah. Glad we were able to actually pull this off, because I wasn't sure going in. I wasn't sure how difficult the levels would get. So we did it. We cooked, and you should beat Minecraft in one sitting. Yeah, I tried to do that about half a dozen times, and still haven't done it. I should. You're right. I should. At some point, I really should do that. I just don't know, because I'd probably be dedicating 5-6 hours to that, because I'm not a speedrunner. Maybe one day I'll pick that up again. But alright, so I've been doing this obby for over 2 hours, so I'm probably done. And I'm just going to go ahead and end stream, unless y'all want to just chat for a bit. That's fine with me. We could do Bible time. I'm cool with that as well. What do we think, chat? I'm down to do Bible time. I'm down to yap for a little bit. Eventually I'm going to need to record a daily rip, but or I could do like a live recording and show you guys how I record daily rips. That might be cool. If anyone would have any interest in that. I could give you all a BTS for how I record them. It's not like overly exciting, but Da, da, da. I think I get what you're trying to explain there, Benny. I need to get enough people together to do something like that. And then we'd have to orchestrate like exactly like how that would work and like that would be fun, and it wouldn't be too hard to set up. But we'd have to have enough people to pull something like that off. But that's not a bad idea. We could do like almost like a tournament format kind of thing where like I guess the way we might be able to do that, well, first we need enough people. I think the way we could maybe do that is like we could do like a one-on-one type of thing. I feel like that would put the person running at like a major disadvantage though. We have to make it like fair for everybody. That might be. It's not a bad idea. We'd have to like coordinate how to make it fair. But. Or we could do a thing where, like, we could, like, maybe... I don't know if we'd have enough people to do this, but I would almost think, like, maybe I could, like, be the shooter. Like, the bow shooter. And, like, I could have y'all run, and, like, if you make it across, I, like, PayPal you $1 or something. I don't know. Something like that. I feel like it could be interesting. Or, like, I could make the course more difficult. And, like, I could have you run through it multiple times, and then if you pass the more difficult course, you get more money. Like, that might be cool. That's a decent idea. We have to figure out how to title that to make it, like, as good for the algorithm as possible. But... It's actually not a bad idea. That might help Benny, but like, I don't know. The channel is still kind of dead. Like, even if I did ping people, I still don't know. I'd have to like pick the right day, and even then, I don't know. It's not a bad idea. I would like to look into it and make that happen. It's actually a pretty solid idea for a stream or a video. Might go broke by the end of it though. But it's a pretty good idea. I don't have anything to edit at the moment, but I mean, I have a couple of videos that like I have recorded. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload them. They could probably use a little bit of editing. I don't want you to edit something I might not use though. Yeah, I could check it out. Definitely. Just I kind of talked about this earlier. Like, I just don't do a lot of videos anymore because effort versus views is kind of not really there. Like, I feel like I put a lot of time into recording and editing, and they don't do that well. But I mean, and I always feel bad when other people edit for me. Like if we could arrange some kind of payment, like that would be better. But you know, I don't want people to just edit stuff for me. That seems like unpaid labor. I've never liked that. But people always turn down, or everybody who's edited for me so far has turned down payment. So I blame other people. Yeah, I just, Benny, I just have to have content that needs to be edited. I really, like, do I have? It's just completely disappeared from the screen. Oops. I mean, I have a couple videos I've recorded, like, semi-recently. But they're mainly just me yapping and ranting, so I don't know how beneficial those would be for you. I have a finished videos folder. Do I have any other, like, unedited videos? didn't last very long, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't have a lot of content, like, ready to go in terms of, like, editing. I mean, if I do, I'll definitely send it over. Might be too large for Discord. Like, if you have, like, an email. Actually, you know what? You know what? I'll give you some promo. Let me, check out one of these links you sent me here. I'm just gonna pause this real quick so I can show it. I will turn the music off temporarily. Alright, oh, this is still showing. Switch here. There we go. Nice. Hopefully that didn't... I just realized how loud that probably was. I apologize if that totally shredded anybody's ears. I could see 3 likes. Just out of curiosity, how did that video do? Like, views-wise. I'm legitimately just curious. Because, like, I know how mine, like, a different genre, but I'm just curious as to, like, if you even want to share. If you don't want to share, that's fine. I'm just curious as to how that did. The only thing that I could maybe think of is, like, but then you'd have to, like, dig through stream clips. If you wanted to, like, dig through stream clips and, like, do edits, but, like, then I don't want you to have to dig through stream clips. So, like, I don't know. I don't have, like, I don't have videos. Oh, wow. Good for you. That's pretty solid, man. At least from my perspective, that's pretty solid. The general views that my videos normally get. Yeah, I don't know. Just because I don't know if I'll be doing any recording. Because I haven't decided if I want to... If that's something I want to... start doing again. And do you do more of, like, shorts edits? Or do you, like, full-length video edits? Or, like, you know, clips and stuff? Because I don't want to... You know, I want to make sure we're on the same page with, like, the kind of editing that you do. Because I know it's very... different. See how things are doing. Actually seem to be doing kind of okay here. This one kind of popped off. Sorry, I'm looking at daily rip statistics. This one actually did I kind of rock with it. This one did okay. How about the newer ones? This one's tapered off a little bit. This one is being weird. Okay. Not phenomenal, but it's okay. I used to do full length, so I'm used to it, but I stopped because I hate my voice so much. I see. Um, okay. I don't want to commit to anything now because, again, like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing, like, full length video stuff. I wouldn't mind it. The editing is, like, the part. The editing is, like, the reason I stopped doing them. Not because I didn't like the editing, but because I put so much effort into it and they didn't do well. But then I'd feel bad if somebody else put a ton of effort into editing and then it didn't do well. So I kind of run into the same issue where it's like, just because it's not me doing it, I still would feel bad if somebody put 5 hours into editing a video and then their work got like 20 views, you know? Also, Dusky, if you're still lurking, I have a quick question that you might be able to answer. You may not be here anymore, though, so that if you're not, that's fine. And if you're trying to work, that's also fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Just because, like, again, I wouldn't want me or anybody else to put hours of editing into a video and then have it get like 20 views. Because, like, you know, I'd be like, okay, well, all I did was record and I was going to do that anyway, so, like, it's not so bad. But I'd feel terrible for whoever edited it because they did most of the work. But, you know, if you just want to practice and get better, like, I guess that's fine. I mean, if you don't have an issue with it, I don't have an issue with it. I just, again, I don't like when people do that kind of work and don't get compensated. But that's just my personal thoughts on the matter. Anyway, let's do a little yap before the end of stream here. I kind of have some stuff I want to say. This, like, doesn't always happen. I kind of have some stuff I want to say and talk about. So I might do a little yap before we end off here. If that's cool with y'all, of course. If y'all are just like, nah, shut up. Like, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, too. But, I do kind of got some stuff I would like to talk about, if that's okay. Actually, I might run upstairs and get some water real quick. My throat's a little bit, scratchy. So I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna go run and grab some water. I will be right back. Do I still have Vibing Dog? Hold on. I do still have Vibing Dog. It's very pixelated. But, actually, let me switch to the intermission. The intermission screen is not set up. I really should not do this. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll have Dog. We'll have him sit in the chair. Kind of. Does it look like he's sitting in the... Not really. We'll put the dog in the chair. There we go. He's chilling. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Alright. I have returned from water getting. Oops. Phone just fell. Okay. So now that it's yap time. Excuse me. There are a few things I wanted to talk about. I mentioned this earlier in stream, but I want to bring it up again. Since we're now talking about, like, me doing actual, like, long-form video content again, I have a couple questions I want to throw out there. Number one, how long episodes do y'all want to see? Like 10 to 15 minute episodes? Like between 10 and 20 minutes? Or like 30 to 40 minute episodes? Because, like, I could do either. The 10 to 15 minute ones would probably be a lot easier to edit. Probably take a lot less time. For me or whoever else. Yeah. Again, that's kind of why I stopped doing it, because I was comfortable doing, like I would record an hour of footage and then edit that down to, like, 45 minutes, cut the dead space and add edits and stuff, and then post it, and it was just not worth the time. So I agree. I think I agree with that. Like, if I was to do long-form stuff again, I would probably make it shorter, between 10 and 20 minutes. I'd have to, like, remind myself to cut things short, but yeah. And then my next question would be, like, what? Like, what should I do? Like, I've thought about starting up a new solo Minecraft series. I haven't done that in a while, but I started like 3 or 4 of those back in the day. A lot of them only have one episode. The only ones that got multiple episodes were ones I did with the guys, or with Yoshi and Gingy. I'd be down to do a solo Minecraft series again. I honestly would, but, you know, I'd have to make the episode short. What if you pick a certain group of people and grind that, like 3 people? We did. It's called Road to the End. Probably the best series I ever put out on this channel. Like summer into fall of 2020. Me, Yoshi, and Gingy did Road to the End. The first episode is, like, I think one of if not the most viewed, like, video I've ever put out. And there were the series itself was a blast. It was so fun, right? There was so much wrong with that series. Their mic audio was terrible because it was coming through Discord and their mics were not good. I did not edit a second of footage for the first, like, 18 episodes of the series. One episode was edited by Steelers. That was the only one she edited. And there was so much wrong with it. It could have been so much better. And now none of us have the time. None of us have the time to do that again. But it was so fun. It was so fun. It was, like, the best series ever. And it was like peak quarantine. It was so good. That's why I say solo, because that I could probably manage. It would give me something to do. Honestly, some days, since I finished my certification, like, there's some days where I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, there's days I literally don't know what to do with myself. So, like, having a series or doing editing or something like that, that's kind of why I'm considering this possibility to begin with, is because I have that time. So I would be willing to give that a shot if people would want to see a solo Minecraft series. We could bring Terraria back. We tried to do a Road to the End too, Dusky. It flopped miserably. We even brought Benjer in. We brought Benjer in to cameo in a couple episodes. And it did not do as well. The vibes weren't quite the same. I would be down to do one of those though if we all had the time. I thought a gajillion times about doing an SMP, but like it would have to be on like a realm or something, because a free server just isn't gonna do it. It's just not. But then I'd have to pay. Honestly, $8 a month is not horrific for something like that. So I'd be willing to do that. Plus, I wouldn't have to keep it online 24/7. It just kind of does that itself. So if I was to do an SMP, I'd probably do it that way. I'd probably get a realm and set it up to renew monthly. But yeah, I don't know. Minecraft is an option. Terraria. I still don't know how to play Terraria properly. That's the only thing that would keep me from doing another Terraria series. I still don't know how to play Terraria properly. I still have no idea what I'm doing. I understand you're not trying to self-promote. I get what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's the only thing stopping me from doing Terraria is I still have no idea how to play Terraria. Like, I just kind of ran around, mined, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue. I still have no clue what I'm doing. I just know that that's not the way to do it, is to just jump into something and be like, okay, yeah, I'll figure it out as I go. No. No. In some games that might work. In other games, no. Absolutely not. I'd love to get into Terraria. I'm sure it's fascinating and has like a cult following, but I still have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah. I do still have it, though, on Steam, so. I could play Deltarune. That's something I could do. New chapters supposedly coming out soon. I played Undertale on the channel. I did a stream series. I did a stream series on Undertale. I had some online friends of mine come in and do voice acting. That was a lot of fun back in the day. Of course, that was when the channel was kind of more alive, so I don't know how well that would do. What else could I do? What's other games I could play in like video format, and it would be good. You can host servers with a Lunar Client. Interesting. I've heard of Lunar Client. I don't exactly know what it is. Sorry, I'm currently loading Steam to see what games I have in my library because I don't remember. I have the first two Portals. Are there more than two Portals? I have Portal 1 and Portal 2. Never played them. I just bought them on Steam sale. Most of my library I just bought on Steam sale and never played. So, I mean, that's probably most. I feel like a lot of people probably do that. I feel like I'm not alone in that. But I did buy a lot of games on Steam sale, and then just never once played them. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a message. That's my bad. How much is Dave the Driver? Yeah, 40% off. Game's been out for a bit, but Terraria is 50% off, guys. Go buy Terraria. Sorry. It is 50% off, though. It's probably worth buying. It's $5. New and why? No. is 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 that is this? Yes, it's exactly what I thought it was. Oh my. Okay. Why is that number one on new and trending? Mm. Okay. I wish I didn't have eyes right now. Um. Okay. Okay. Well, that's ruined my day. That has that has thoroughly ruined my day. Okay. That that has made me very upset. What I've just seen. Okay. Why was I looking at It Takes Two? I don't remember doing this. I don't remember looking at It Takes Two. I don't have a friend that has enough time to play this with. So I probably will not be playing It Takes Two. Okay. Goodness. Library. That's why I booted up Steam. Okay. Oh, that's right. I bought Knights of the Old Republic and I haven't played it yet. I don't even think I bought it. I think it was free. That's something I could definitely play. Again, don't really know anything about it, but it's Star Wars, which means it's cool. I have no clue what your new and trending is because mine is a card-based village builder. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have Knights of the Old Republic. I don't have as many games in here as I thought I did. I have We Become What We Behold. Crash, no! Okay, stream decided to die for a second. Are we good? Are we good? Hello? 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 Oh dear. Is it working? Chat. Chat. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. I don't know why OBS just died. Alright, what else do I have? I have VR chat. I probably shouldn't have VR chat. I actually did a couple VR chat streams, and then I realized why that was such a bad idea. And then I stopped doing VR chat streams. I have Uno, but I'd need friends. I have Super Psycho Baseball, which I'm terrible at. Splitgate, which nobody plays anymore. Portal 2, Phasmo, Multiverses. I bought The Escapists and then never played it. Actually, that's a game I could probably make videos on. The Escapists? W game, by the way. The Escapists. If you've never heard of The Escapists, it's worth checking out. Why do I have 2 hours playtime in The Escapists? That makes no sense. I was actually going to record this back in the day, and I never did. Content warning. I still have Chair Simulator from all those years ago when I made one video on the game. I have Apex. Why do I have Apex? I've never played Apex in my life. Okay. I don't have as much in my library as I thought I did. But there's a couple options in there. Like, I could play Knights of the Old Republic. That would be interesting, I think. I really thought I had more in my library. Anyway. But yeah. Minecraft, Terraria, I don't know, what else could I do, like, videos on, or, like, make a series out? Even if it's just a one-time thing. What else could I make videos on that, like, would be interesting? I guess I could do Deltarune. Might be better on stream, though. Guess I could do other, like, Undertale fan games and stuff, but I tried doing Delta Traveler. It didn't really pick up a lot of people. I ended up finishing Chapter 3 off stream. Forget Return to the End 2. Return to the End. Yeah, because we call it Road to the End 2 Return to the End. We call it Return to the End, yeah. We're back! Y'all forgot this series existed. You've all probably unsubscribed by now, but we're back. I would like to do a Minecraft series, whether it's solo or with people. The problem with people is, like, we all universally have that 2-week Minecraft phase, and then once we're out of the 2-week Minecraft phase, we just don't play Minecraft for the next 50 weeks until the next 2-week Minecraft phase. And that's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. Like, for me and Yoshi and Gingy, it's not even 2 weeks anymore. Like, we'll get on, we'll start a world, we'll play for like 2 hours, and then we'll just never get on the world again. What if a series was designed around a 2-week Minecraft phase? That's not a bad idea. Then we'd have to, like, force ourselves to get on every day. And I don't know if we could do that. Because, like, at the pace we play at, could we beat the Ender Dragon in 2 weeks? We probably could. Short-term Minecraft Unis Honest. If we don't beat the Ender Dragon in 2 weeks, we delete the world. Hey, did we gain a sub? I think we gained a subscriber today. Where did that one come from? Did it come from stream? Where did that one come from? Where did that subscriber come from? Tell me! Tell me! Oh, it might have came from... I didn't click on... Oh dear. Oh dear. This is not what I... Okay. YouTube analytics are just amazing. And they work exactly how they're supposed to work every single time. Alright. Yeah, we could, you know, we could try some stuff out. We'll see. I might do a solo Minecraft series, honestly. Just, I feel like that would heal my soul a little bit. And, like, I could actually commit to it. I could actually commit to it, and, like, instead of abandoning it after, like, one episode when it inevitably doesn't do well, I could be like, I don't care how well it's doing. I'm gonna post it anyway. Oh, another thing. I was talking to Yoshi about this, somewhat recently. I don't remember when. And I sort of brought this up earlier, not directly. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. My nose is very clogged. It's clogged. I'm gonna mute for this. Excuse me. For whatever reason, there's a lot of buildup in my left nostril right now. Anyway, what was I? Oh, yes. I don't know if anyone have any thoughts on this. So, obviously, this bit is a part of the name of my channel, right? I've been playing a lot more Mario games just recently in my life. I went through and beat Mario and Luigi Paper Jam a while back. I just finished Thousand Year Door. I just 100%ed it. It was fantastic. I'm currently playing Mario and Luigi Brothership, and I'm also infrequently playing Partners in Time. I say all that to say I kind of want to redo my Sticker Star series again. Because even the second time, like, yes, I finished it, but the quality was still really bad. So, like, I could easily emulate it and make the quality not bad. So I kind of want to do that. And then I was also thinking about doing a Super Paper Mario series, because that's a game I've never beaten. I've beaten Sticker Star like 15 times. I've never beaten Super Paper Mario. In fact, I've never gotten very far into it. I don't think I've ever reached Chapter 2. So I would, in fact, I think I'd really, really enjoy doing that. I don't know if anybody else would enjoy watching that, but I think I'd really enjoy doing that. In fact, have I ever streamed myself or recorded myself doing that? I might have. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe I might have had capture issues, or like the screen wasn't the size I wanted it to be. I don't remember. Because also, Dusky, if you're still here, I have an OBS question. I don't know if you'd be able to answer it, but I have an OBS question. Okay. Is there a way for me to make like some kind of source, some kind of source where basically I capture a specific part of the screen, and like the source only shows like that part of the screen, but I can also like move it around. Like, for example, would I be able to make a source that just captures, say, my sign, and then move that anywhere around the screen, and it'll only show if anything happens in like this specific area? Because what I think I would probably do is set up 2 of those for an emulator, one for the for a 3DS game, one for the bottom screen, one for the top screen, just so it's easier to follow. I don't know if that's a thing you can do in OBS. or if maybe other people who do it just have a different use a different emulator than I do. But I would love to do something like that. I would love to play games like that on the channel and have an actually decent way of recording them that isn't me holding my phone, which is what I did for the Sticker Star series last time. And don't get me wrong, I had a blast. With the series. But the quality was not good, unfortunately. So I want to fix that. Or if it's something else, like DS emulators put the screens in the same window, so you can just use a window capture and use a crop filter. We're gonna do something real quick. We're gonna try something real quick. Forgive me, chat, for the possible irrelevancy of what I'm about to do. We are going to boot up Melon DS, and then we're going to go ahead and take our ROM for Partners in Time, and we're going to drag it in. Nintendo! That was probably loud. Let me turn this down. Nintendo music. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and change this to capture this. Okay, it's capturing. Awesome. I want to try this out. I'll beat the music. It's probably gonna get annoying. So what I want to figure out is... No, because I don't want to shrink it. I want to... How would I do this? Edit transform? No. Because, like, I'd want to crop it down to so that I can grab each of the screens. Why are we using Melon DS? Because that's the DS emulator I have downloaded. If there's a better one, please tell me. If there's a better one, do tell. I was looking for DS emulators, and this is the one I downloaded. Anyway. Like, I would want to crop this and crop this as two separate things, and then, like, enlarge the top one and move the other one, like, over down here somewhere. But I don't know if that's possible. How would I go about cropping this? Transform? Edit? No? Oh, crop left, here. I can crop pixels. Oh, that's... I'm doing that. Right now. No, I don't want to delete the window capture. I'm downloading that as we speak. Forgive me. Downloads. They're hosted over on GitHub. Okay. Okay. No, I don't want to pull a request. I want to do down actions. Here, no, I'm just an idiot. Download zip. There we go. Forgive me for troubleshooting all this on stream, chat. I really shouldn't be, but... Extract all. Put it on my desktop somewhere. I'll find it. I shouldn't be streaming myself doing this, actually. But, you know. Alright, I actually think I'm going to cut stream off here. I have a daily rip to record, and then I'm probably going to go to bed. But thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it. Hope you all have a great night. And yeah. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. So, once again, have a great night. And always remember, Jesus loves you. Peace.